Every meal begins on a farm, but not all farms do the same job. Some grow the grain that becomes bread. Others raise animals for milk, eggs, or meat. Some cultivate fruit that won't produce for years, while others specialize in crops shipped all over the world. Although we often imagine a farm as a single concept, there are many different types, each designed for a specific purpose. In this video, we'll explore the traditional farms that have fed humanity for thousands of years and discover what makes each one unique. The first farms were simple. Some focused on growing crops, others on raising animals, and many combined both. These three farming systems became the foundation of agriculture and are still among the most common today. An arable farm is a farm dedicated to growing field crops rather than raising livestock. Wheat, rice, corn, barley, oats, and soybeans are just a few of the staple crops grown on arable farms, providing much of the world's food supply. What makes arable farms unique is their focus on annual crops, plants that are usually sown, harvested, and replanted every growing season. This allows farmers to rotate crops, helping maintain soil fertility, reduce pests, and improve long-term productivity. More than 10,000 years ago, farms like these changed human history. By cultivating cereal crops instead of constantly searching for wild food, people were able to settle permanently, leading to the first villages and eventually the world's earliest civilizations. But crops were only half of the agricultural story. A livestock farm specializes in raising domesticated animals such as cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and buffalo for products like meat, milk, wool, leather, and breeding stock. Unlike arable farms, which revolve around planting and harvesting crops, livestock farms focus on animal care throughout the year. Farmers manage feeding, breeding, health, and shelter to keep their animals productive and healthy in every season. One of the greatest breakthroughs in early agriculture wasn't simply domesticating animals for food. It was discovering that they could also provide labor. Long before tractors existed, oxen pulled plows, horses transported goods, and countless farming communities depended on animal power to cultivate larger areas of land. As agriculture developed, many farmers discovered that crops and animals worked even better together than apart. A mixed farm combines crop production and livestock on the same farm, allowing each enterprise to support the other. Crops provide feed for animals, while livestock produce manure that naturally fertilizes the fields. What makes mixed farming unique is this continuous cycle of resources. Instead of treating crops and livestock as separate businesses, everything works together to reduce waste and improve efficiency. Long before the word sustainability became popular, mixed farms were already practicing one of nature's oldest principles. Almost nothing goes to waste. Crop residues become animal feed, animal manure enriches the soil, and healthy soil produces the next harvest. As farming became more advanced, however, many producers realized that specializing in a single product could be even more efficient. That gave rise to a new generation of farms dedicated to one thing, and one thing only: milk. As communities grew and trade expanded, many farmers stopped producing a little of everything and began focusing on a single product. This specialization allowed farms to become more efficient and meet the growing demands of an expanding population. A dairy farm specializes in producing milk rather than meat. While cows are the most common dairy animals, many regions also rely on goats, sheep, water buffalo, and even camels, depending on the local climate and traditions. What sets dairy farms apart is that healthy animals remain productive for years through regular milking, balanced nutrition, and careful breeding. Instead of raising animals primarily for slaughter, the goal is to produce a steady supply of fresh milk every day. One remarkable fact is just how productive modern dairy farming has become. A high-producing dairy cow can produce enough milk in a single year to fill a small swimming pool, a dramatic improvement made possible through generations of selective breeding, better nutrition, and improved animal care. But milk isn't the only product that inspired farmers to specialize. A poultry farm raises domesticated birds, such as chickens, turkeys, ducks, geese, and quail, for eggs, meat, or breeding. Chickens dominate the industry, making poultry one of the most common forms of livestock farming in the world. Unlike larger livestock, poultry grows quickly and reproduces efficiently, allowing farmers to produce large amounts of food in a relatively short time. Different operations may specialize in egg production, meat production, or breeding birds for other farms. Here's an incredible fact. A single healthy laying hen can produce more than 300 eggs in a year, making chickens one of the most efficient food-producing animals ever domesticated. While animal farms focused on milk and eggs, another group of farms specialized in something that required a very different kind of patience: trees. Most field crops are harvested within a single season, but some farms invest years before collecting their first harvest. These are perennial farms, where success is measured not in months, but in decades. An orchard farm is dedicated to growing fruit or nut trees such as apples, oranges, peaches, cherries, almonds, pistachios, walnuts, and olives. Unlike arable farms that replant crops every year, orchard farmers care for the same trees through many growing seasons. Pruning, irrigation, pollination, and pest management all play an important role in keeping the trees healthy and productive. Some orchards are built for the long term in a very literal sense. Certain olive trees have continued producing fruit for hundreds of years, and a few are believed to be well over 1,000 years old, still yielding harvests today. Not every fruit, however, grows on a tree. Some of the world's most valuable harvests grow on vines instead. A vineyard is a farm where grapevines are cultivated for fresh grapes, raisins, juice, or wine. Although vineyards grow fruit, they are considered their own category because grape production requires unique growing methods and careful management. What makes vineyards distinctive is the close relationship between the vines and their environment. Farmers carefully manage pruning, training, and harvesting to produce grapes with the desired size, sweetness, and quality. One fascinating concept associated with vineyards is terroir, the idea that climate, soil, elevation, and even the slope of the land influence how grapes develop. Two vineyards growing the same grape variety just a few kilometers apart can produce surprisingly different harvests because their growing conditions are never exactly the same. While vineyards focus on a single fruit, the next farms cultivate an incredible variety of fresh produce harvested every single day. A vegetable farm specializes in growing edible vegetables, such as lettuce, carrots, onions, cabbage, broccoli, peppers, cucumbers, pumpkins, and hundreds of other crops destined for fresh markets or food processing. Unlike orchards and vineyards, which wait years for mature harvests, vegetable farms focus on fast-growing crops that are planted and harvested throughout the year, depending on the season and local climate. Many also grow several different vegetables at once, carefully rotating crops to maintain healthy soil and reduce pests. One fascinating fact is that many leafy vegetables are harvested before sunrise. Cooler morning temperatures help preserve their freshness, allowing them to stay crisp longer during transport to supermarkets and restaurants. While vegetables are valued for their leaves, roots, or stems, the next farms specialize in one of nature's most diverse and colorful harvests: fruit. A fruit farm grows a wide variety of fruit crops, including strawberries, blueberries, bananas, mangoes, pineapples, watermelons, and many others. Unlike orchards, which specifically grow fruit and nut trees, fruit farms also include fruits produced on vines, shrubs, and herbaceous plants. What makes fruit farms unique is their incredible diversity. Almost every climate on Earth supports its own collection of fruit crops, from tropical bananas and mangoes to temperate berries and melons. One remarkable fact is that supermarkets can sell fresh fruit throughout the year because harvest seasons alternate between the northern and southern hemispheres. As summer ends in one half of the world, it begins in the other, creating an almost continuous global fruit harvest. Some fruits are grown for local markets. Others are produced on an enormous scale and shipped across continents. Some agricultural products are so valuable that entire farms are dedicated to growing just one crop. These large-scale operations help transform farming from a local activity into a global industry. A plantation farm is a large agricultural operation dedicated to growing a single high-value crop. usually for processing or export. Coffee, tea, cocoa, rubber, bananas, sugarcane, coconuts, and oil palms are among the crops most commonly grown on plantations. Unlike diversified farms, plantations focus almost entirely on one crop. This specialization allows farmers to streamline planning, harvesting, and processing while producing enormous quantities for international markets. One incredible fact is that some modern plantations are so vast, their neat rows of crops can be recognized from satellite images. They represent some of the largest and most organized farming landscapes on Earth. Plantations remind us that agriculture doesn't just feed local communities, it also connects countries through global trade. From grain fields and livestock pastures to orchards, vineyards, and vast plantations, traditional farms have shaped the way humanity produces food. Although each farm serves a different purpose, everyone was created to solve a specific challenge. Whether growing staple crops, raising animals, harvesting fresh produce, or supplying products to the global market. Together, they form the foundation of agriculture as we know it. But farming has never stopped evolving. Today, some crops grow without soil. Fish help nourish vegetables. Entire farms operate inside climate-controlled buildings, producing food in places once thought impossible. In Part 2, we'll explore the modern farms that are redefining the future of agriculture.